Good evening, parents, guardians, family and friends, board members, faculty colleagues, and HIS staff. Whether you are here in person or watching the live stream, on behalf of Harare International School, I welcome you to the Class of 2023 graduation ceremony. Please take a moment to check that your phones are turned off. Now, for the amazing young adults we have all gathered here for, to recognize and celebrate. Please stand as we welcome the HIS class of 2023. Welcome to the class of 2023, to your graduation. I'd now like to ask Rufaro and Mr. Admore to get ready. We're going to be singing the national anthem, so please remain standing. Thank you. Please be seated. Once again, I would like to welcome you all. This is a very special occasion. For the students of the class of 2023, this represents the culmination of many years at school. Take this opportunity to let your mind wander back over your years at school. Remember the challenges and successes, the hardships and delights, because they have shaped you into the young adults you are today. For the parents of the class of 2023, this occasion represents the culmination of many years of love, support, and sacrifice. I hope your hearts are filled with joy and pride. For the staff, this occasion represents a feeling of pride and fulfilled purpose. Elementary school teachers at HIS or elsewhere, secondary school teachers, the support staff, the admin staff, for all of us, our core purpose is education. And each successive graduation represents another year of fulfilled purpose. Let's also take a moment to reflect on those who couldn't be here today. Reflect on your friends over the years who have left HIS and are no doubt graduating somewhere else. Let's take a moment to reflect on one of your teachers, Mr. Manyozo, who I know would have loved to be here this evening. To the friends and family present here or on the live stream, I hope your hearts are also filled with joy and pride for the achievement of the students you are supporting this evening. Now for me, it's a little bit more complicated. Besides pride and joy, I also have a strong feeling of relief. And maybe that is because I arrived at HIS when you lot were in grade 9. I'm sure many of you have heard me ask during presentations to students and parents. They're thinking now, oh, here he goes again. But I often ask, what is the purpose of school? And sometimes I get the answer to get good grades or learn stuff. And then I say, why do you want to get good grades and learn stuff? And I get the answer to go to a good university. And I say, why do you want to go to a good university? And I get an answer like, to get a good job, or to make lots of money. And again, I say, why do you want those things? Ultimately, we reach the point where we agree that the purpose of school is to help students to develop into happy and productive adults. When you were in grade 9, and quite a lot of grade 10, and a bit of grade 11, and I was newish at HIS, I thought we were going to fail in that core purpose of school. I'm half joking. And so my relief on this very special occasion. Look at you now. Even Mr. Lucas and Mr. Inyati said nice things about you today. And many more nice things will be said this evening, and they are all deserved. I am delighted that the members of the HIS class of 2023 are well placed to become happy and productive adults. I also believe that you will collectively go on to make the world a better place. A very wise friend of mine wrote a poem about graduation, and I would like to read this to you as I think it contains more wisdom than I could impart by talking for longer. Please listen carefully. It is not about the HIS dress code. Graduation, a transition, a day of pride, attention to dress, celebratory, a myriad of emotions, capturing moments, looking your best. When the celebration is over, take care what you wear. Not for the weather or fashion, rather reminders of your true north. Choose a piece of jewelry or a watch to remind you to be curious, to pursue the unknown or grope for understanding, to remember not to be held hostage to certainty and to cherish wonder and surprise. Now choose a t-shirt or top to remind you that you are courageous, to persevere over daunting fear of creating something yet imperfect, to remember that perfection invites paralysis, and to gently set aside mindless critics, because the cost of judging is nothing. Next, choose a pair of shoes to remind you to be kind, to acknowledge that our accomplishments matter little in the absence of kindness, to remember it's more important how we make others feel, and to be confident that curiosity and courage are nurtured in an environment of kindness. Choose your dress with care, not for weather or fashion, and not necessarily all items at once, but to choose with intention, reminders of your true north. As the HIS class of 2023, all of your contributions and leadership over the years will now be part of the fabric which will help to shape the year groups which will follow you. I certainly hope that you have as many meaningful memories of your time at HIS as I do when I think back to my interactions with the class of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Good evening, everybody. There was supposed to be a box back here so that I could be a little bit higher, but I think I'm okay. This is always such a special evening, and I'm really excited to be here. It's the marking of the transition out of high school, which I'm sure that these students never believed would come, and yet here we are. As we move through the celebrations this evening, we will hear from several people, have different performances, and recognize a few individuals within this cohort for their specific achievements. The first people I would like to recognize are those wearing the honor cords. Students who are part of the National Honor Society are recognized this evening by their gold cords. Membership in the Honor Society is earned through scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Our NHS students are Chennai, Natasha, Alex, Jonathan, Abigail, Luke, Michelle, and Mehak, Benya, Elliot, and Rejoice. Students, please stand and be recognized for your contributions to the community. Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge two other people who are wearing the markers of their hard work this evening. Amongst our graduating class, we have 2 Eagle Scouts. I would like to ask the following students to stand and be recognized for their commitment to the Boy Scouts of America and for being leaders in service, Abigail and Elliot. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on, and I would now like to welcome up a group of students that we will be seeing quite a bit of this evening, the senior band. This group comprises Luke, Jonathan, Elliot, Alex, and Imo, with the support of Tino and Damien. The first piece that they will perform this evening is called A Cruel Angel's Thesis by Omari and Sato. Please come to the stage. Thank you. That was amazing. Another round of applause. Don't break the instruments. I would now like to welcome Mr. Hawkins on the stage to present the Salutatorian medal. Typically, there are two ways to choose the Salutatorian at HIS. This could either be the student with the second best scores, or could be a student that the class of 23 nominates to address them. The seniors this year overwhelmingly opted to choose one student to address them. I would like to welcome the nominated Salutatorian for 2023, Alex Thistle.
Good evening, fellow graduates, esteemed faculty, proud parents, distinguished guests, and Anders. Anyway, it's an honor to stand before you on behalf of our graduating class. My name is Alexander Thistle. I started this school at the mere age of 3, and I'm currently the longest attending student at HIS, and have now been here for 15 years. I would like to warmly welcome everyone in attendance and express my gratitude for being part of this once-in-a-lifetime occasion to mark the academic success of my classmates and I, the class of 2023. Our journey thus far has been but a mile in the marathon of life. For those who do any sport, the first mile in a race, first serve in a volleyball game, or jump ball in a basketball game can be the most important moment to help define your confidence, attitude, and outcome. And it is this mile that we are now completing this evening in the marathon of our lives. This mile has been defined by the times of hardship and stress, but more importantly, self-discovery, friendship, and community. But you see, we didn't run this first mile alone. To all our teachers, you have been the front line of our journey, equipping us with the tools and knowledge that drive our success today. To mention some highlights, Mr. Gresco, thank you very much for economics and TOK, but more importantly, for fueling IMO's coffee addiction. To Mr. A, I'd like to thank you for building my passion for math while tolerating all the bickering between the gents in the class. Much like the probability of Anders getting to school on time, which is negative 0.005, approaching from the negative side, or never, your advisory never made me regret coming to school. While some of the classes and tests caused brain cell deaths, Mr. Tongo, we learned from these adversities, and as a result, have become the students we are today. Many of you have taught us for a long time. Mr. Dora, I remember playing COD in your 6th grade French class. However, please don't tell my parents that. So to all our teachers, I'd like to thank you for the sacrifice and time you've given us. We are forever grateful. To all our parents and guardians, the backbone support, working overtime to see us through to the point and beyond. It goes without saying how crucial a role you have played in our lives and the sacrifices you have made for us to be where we are today. I'd like to especially thank my parents for showing me their love and support, as it has meant the world to me. Many of us are also privileged to have the support of family and siblings, and we thank them for being a part of this journey. The community at HIS is one I've been part of for many years, and is one that has always been vibrant and supportive of its students. This has made attending and participating in my community fun and that much easier. As we depart a community I will forever call home, I would like to thank all my coaches who in various ways shaped me into who I am today. Some of my most memorable moments will be our ICEA volleyball and basketball victories, alongside STEM and other clubs in which I had the opportunity to create many connections and special memories. Lastly, the class of 2023. I appreciate how we've always had each other. Because while we don't really get to pick who we are stuck in a classroom with, Luke, Jonathan, a couple other people, we get to choose the attitudes and ways we interact with each other. The bond and connection we have as a class speaks for itself. From Luke's fish drowning for him to leave English class, Mr. Nyati's Friday English class, to all the group projects and dancing, well, mostly Red's dancing at Juru. In all this, as a group of individuals, we were able to come together and form life-lasting friendships. However, we were never able to fix the tardiness of half the class, which hopefully university can fix. And now, as we start the journey, class of 2023, let us take a vibrant and positive light. Let us take our vibrant and positive light we've been part of here at HIS and spread it all across the world. So I wish the moments we all had together could last forever. In the words of Dr. Seuss, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Thank you, class of 2022.
Thank you, Alex. Beautifully spoken. I would now like to invite Natasha and Hannah to the stage. They are performing When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars.
But it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down. And my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds like ooh. Too young, too dumb to realize I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. Should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. My pride, my ego, my needs, and my selfish ways caused a good, strong woman like you to walk out my life. And now I never get to clean up the mess I made. And it haunts me every time I close my eyes. It all just sounds like ooh. Too young, too dumb to realize I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. Should have gave you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. Although it hurts, I'll be the first to say that I was wrong. flowers. Hope he holds your hand, gives you all his hours when he has the chance. Take you to every party, 'cause I remember how much you love to dance. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man. Do all the things I should have done when I was your man.
Thank you, girls. That was beautiful. And a special thank you also to Tino and Damien for coming in to support. Next, I would like to invite Rufaro to the stage. She will be singing One Hand, One Heart by Al Bernstein from West Side Story.
Make off our hands, one hand. Make off our lives, one life. Make off our vows, one last vow. Only death can part us now. Make off our lives, one life.
No, I reset it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rufaro. It is now our great pleasure to present to you the Valedictorian of Harare International School for 2023. I would like to invite Mr. Hawkins to the stage to present the medal. Valedictorian is the most prestigious academic title, and it is awarded to the student in the graduating class with the highest cumulative DP grade average. Please help us honor this year's valedictorian, an individual who has produced the very highest caliber of scholarship, Elisa Diop Ware.
Members of the faculty, esteemed guests, my fellow graduates, we've gathered here today to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. I think that I speak for my fellow graduates when I say that although we've been counting down to this day, the 26th of May 2023 for a long time, ever since we were given our email addresses with the 23 at the beginning, this moment has come way faster than we expected. It's therefore with great pride and, to be honest, a little bit of incredulity at how fast this moment has come that I stand before you today as the valedictorian of this remarkable graduating class of 2023. As I reflect on our collective journey, I'm filled with humility and admiration for my fellow graduates. We've weathered challenges, celebrated victories, and forged lifelong friendships that have shaped us into the remarkable individuals that we are today. Like most of my assignments through high school, I severely procrastinated the writing of the speech, so I found myself 48 hours ago overlooking beautiful Lake Kariba, reflecting on my time here. And it came to me that the HIS high school experience was too winding, too dynamic, too special to be appropriately contained in the linear structure that valedictorian speeches usually take on, discussing freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year in that order. Instead of espousing this traditional structure, therefore, I'd like to take this time to discuss 3 lessons that I've learned during my time here, 3 lessons that are ingrained in the culture of HIS, 3 lessons that we can carry with us for the rest of our lives. The first thing that HIS has taught me is the importance of gratitude. I moved to Zimbabwe in 2020 amidst the chaos and the uncertainty of the pandemic, and in defiance of the isolation that defined that period of time, I was welcomed by the closest, kindest community I've ever encountered. From Wellington's generosity with his chemistry wisdom to Brian always letting us borrow his salt shaker, the HIS community is radically diverse, yet defined by a culture of kindness for which I'm truly grateful. Throughout our academic pursuits, it goes without saying that we've been nurtured by the unwavering wisdom, patience, and guidance of our teachers and mentors. I'd therefore like to recognize their support, their belief in our potential, and their creative analogies. A special shout out here to Mr. Chitongo's story about the man with the Lamborghini stealing the girlfriend of the man with a Toyota to explain that more reactive metals will reduce less reactive ones. Our teachers have empowered us to overcome obstacles and strive for excellence. So to our dedicated faculty and staff, we owe a debt of gratitude for their tireless dedication to our education. And of course, we would not be up here without the unwavering support of our families, our never-ending sources of love, comfort, and inspiration, our shoulders to cry on, our cheerleaders, our most dedicated supporters. A special thank you here is in order to Mrs. Mears and Mrs. Smith for keeping us well-fed with delicious snacks during our exams. I would also like to extend my deepest gratitude to the IB community worldwide, to all the regulars on the subreddit r/IBO, to those who generously posted their notes and worksheets, and to the IB teachers worldwide who took the time to post recap videos for those of us who didn't listen in class. The challenge of the IB comes with a sincere camaraderie between those who've chosen to undertake this challenge, a camaraderie that extends far beyond the bounds of schools and countries, and have a profound gratitude for the sense of community that the IB fosters. The achievement that we are celebrating today, the end of this era, the beginning of the rest of our lives, as well as all the love, the laughs, the support that define our journey at HIS would not have been possible without our peers, our teachers, our staff, and our families. So to the entirety of the HIS community, we express our sincere gratitude and we hope to make you proud. As we now look ahead to the next steps of our journey, I'd like to share a second lesson that my time at HIS has taught me, a lesson in radical, unconditional optimism. It's undeniable that this moment, although a celebration, is a difficult one. Our departures from the country where we have lived for years, some of us our entire lives, from the strength of our friendships, from the security of high school. We are leaving behind some of the funniest moments of our lives, from Luke's creative excuses to get out of Friday afternoon English class, to unnecessarily competitive games of hide and seek at Abby's house, all the way to the eternal rivalry between GSU and NHS. Nonetheless, my fellow graduates, let us not sink into cynicism. Instead, let us remember all the moments that seemed negative at the time, but in hindsight brought us more wisdom, more laughs, or at least a funny story to tell. Zoom classes and online school were isolating, but they brought us the hilarious class of 2023 out of context group chat. Our old microwave in the lounge broke, but that gives us the opportunity to get a better one from the gym and acquire a popcorn machine as well, for some reason. We cannot stay sane in these rough patches without a positive mindset. So in difficult moments like these, let us commit to an unwavering optimism, a trust that the moments that we leave behind will be replaced by new adventures that will elevate us, that will shape us into young adults that are more ready to face the real world. Finally, the third and final lesson I would like to share with you is a lesson in ambition. What is ambition? To me, ambition is a quasi-delusional amount of self-belief, a commitment to fulfilling our potential. This room is filled with young men and women with a world to conquer if and only if we dare aim high enough. That's ambition. We've understood that electron splitting causes colored complex ions. We've completed our comparative studies. Even Mehek is now able to drive across school without getting struck in the driveway. A group of people that can achieve this can achieve anything. So my fellow graduates, as we go out into the world, let us aim high in the fields that we have chosen. Let us allow our ambition to run wild, and let us have dreams so big that we feel slightly embarrassed to tell other people about them. Gratitude, optimism, and ambition, these are the three things that HS has taught me. Let me say it again. Gratitude, optimism, and ambition. And with that in mind, I would like to leave you with two quotes. These are going to be cheesy, so I can already feel that I get canceled by my contrarian dad for how cliche these might sound, but please bear with me. First, this quote by Terence McKenna. Nature loves courage. You make the commitment, and nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream, and the world will not grind you under, it will lift you up. This is the trick. This is what all these teachers and philosophers who really counted, who really touched the alchemical gold, this is what they understood. This is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is how magic is done, by hurling yourself into the abyss and discovering it's a feather bed. And finally, I'd like to leave you with this quote by Ginny Weasley from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Anything's possible if you've got enough nerve. Thank you, everyone. It's been a privilege. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you, Elisa. Wisdom and insight, I think a perfect example of this class and these graduates. Another round of applause for our valedictorian. I would now like to invite Sophie to the stage. She will be performing an original piece entitled Dear Class of 2023.
Class of 2023, filled with emotions of glee and being free, wondering if our universities are where we're meant to be. Dear class of 2023, comma. Here we are, from all around the world. It seems we all came from afar. Yet between us getting cars and playing the guitar, it seems like only yesterday we were conjugating avoir and escuchar. To becoming ICEA All-Stars with Remy and the Rat, which is still quite bizarre. Are we growing up? Yes. Why, yes, we are. Well, this is great. We are done with the clean your room and wash your plate debates. Can choose to stay up at an alarming rate. Can watch Netflix shows at an alarming rate. Can even go on a date, get an estate, and please stop using Google Translate. But wait. Class of 2023. We are leaving. Not leaving for a break, but instead leaving to go on and achieving, with our parents and teachers believing when we are exceeding our expectations beyond what we are even foreseeing, without our high school friends by our side, constantly breathing by our side. Now, please, let's not forget our family and friends. This forgetfulness I do not recommend. People who we spend time with when the clock hand appears to transcend, doing random TikTok or karaoke trends with classes to attend. I will miss you, Mom. Let me not pretend. But at some moment, we must admit that this time has come to an end. An end of fast classes, performing IB musical tunes, accepting Best Dressed awards in front of the masses. It's so weird how quickly time passes. Oh, mes amis, I will miss you. Time spent with friends, laughing without end, with sleepovers and hanging out, becoming a trend. I can see that the future is on the mend. But with new places comes new experiences. A change of new friends. Yes, it may be strange, yet we will begin to rearrange as soon as our life will become less and less deranged. Finally, class of 2023, I have 5 words for you, and this might be familiar. Oh, the places you'll go. Yes, the new journey may be frightening, trying to put our fears on the low. But the more we know how to show our talents and the traits we learned so long ago, oh, class, so much joy will overflow as we hopefully make that dough. But most importantly, we show the world our HIS community glow, the place we learned to grow. Dear class of 2023, oh, the places you'll go. With all the love, warm hugs, and all the appreciation I can think of, comma, Sophie Johnson.
I'm going to pretend that as her English teacher, I had anything to do with that. Well done, Sophie. Thank you so much. Every graduating class selects an individual from the faculty to address them at this ceremony, and selection is a great honor. It speaks to the impact that this teacher has already had on the lives of the senior class. I would now like to introduce this year's chosen speaker, the great DG, Mr. Derek Gresco.
All my material has been taken. Those are beautiful speeches to follow. Thank you, Kate, and thank you to esteemed teachers, staff members, administrators, students, and parents who made this journey possible for the Harare International School class of 2023. You chose me to host this moment. What were you thinking? Maybe I'd tell an interesting, insightful story. Maybe talk about myself. Well, thanks for providing me this honor. I take it quite seriously. But first, I think I need to speak to the greater group. Take a minute to appreciate the parents and the people who stood behind you, supported you, and nurtured you. Your parents and families have sacrificed for this chance for you. Their sacrifice is large and small. I'm not saying for a moment that any of us would regret it, but it's important to take stock of the immense love and duty that we have to each other. There's so much behind the scenes which we don't perceive. Tonight is a celebration of achievement for our entire community and for the graduating class. It's quite overwhelming how everyone works together towards this goal, and now here we are. Graduating class, you've made it, one foot in front of the other. The elephant has been eaten, the marathon completed. I've been privileged to witness some of the highs and lows, from 4:38 a.m. assignment submissions to DP retreats, to what even is TOK. From mock exams to exams, biology assessments to PCR tests, EE drafts, college apps, Manage Back is now in the rearview mirror. So Tom Hanks took 30 minutes for his commencement address. I've been told I have slightly less than that. But we'll go and see how we do. And I thought about this tiny window, this occasion, to try to share some wisdom, some thoughts to carry on with such a well-cultured and well-rounded group. There's some advice in there, so please take into account that appeals to hypocrisy are technically logical fallacies. All right, here we go. Eyes wide open. I think truth is the way. To us adults, you're at this halcyon moment. The world is truly before you, as is your life and what you choose to make of it. So what do you want to make of this? Maybe you have an evolving mission statement or vision statement. Maybe you remember how to define the difference between them. I won the lottery when I was born. I had a loving and supportive family, a safe place to grow, strong public schools, and a great rule of law for the land. Canada had and has this winning combination of decent folk and decent systems. It's a land of moderation, and I mean that in the good sense. But I don't think that life really works the same for everybody. I was proficient in school, but Anne, I needed you in '98 for some college counseling. I took a couple leaps. I started an early business. I built a skill. That job led me to an unusual opportunity of landing what I considered a real job while still in university. I was an account rep for a Fortune 500 company. I got a company car, a pager, and a cell phone, and a gas card, petrol card. I think it was just a personable interview and good luck again, another little lottery. And it seemed that management position at this Fortune 500 company was what I was being groomed to do. This was a golden opportunity. But it wasn't the one for me. I knew deep down in my gut that that path was going to lead to a great life. But somehow it wasn't the path for me. Maybe I was afraid of the security and potential of it all. Mostly I felt I needed adventure and service in my life. So on the week before my final exams in Guelph, Johnny messaged me on ICQ, if you remember that. Derek, you've got a lot of money left in your student loans. Why don't you get a one-way ticket and head out to Southeast Asia? So I took that leap. I got a handwritten one-way ticket at Walmart, converted all my money into traveler's checks, drove my car to Vancouver, and hopped on that one-way flight. And through the gates at Dong Long International Airport, everything changed. Adventure arrived. I was totally terrified. I found most of the pieces of me on this overdue gap year. A year later, I returned to Canada. I didn't recognize the life I had left behind, not totally at least. I understood different things by this point. A month later, I left again and found myself in Burma, helping launch Yangon Academy. Amy was the new hire the next year, and we got along great. I walked away from a golden opportunity, but found my opportunity. Everything I have and don't have stems from that decision. I'm grateful every day to be living this life. And you have a fairly infinite possibility in front of you. I hope you'll be as fortunate as I have been. A fresh start awaits, and I love the nature of that. You're sitting here at the freshest of fresh starts that you may ever see. An opportunity to take what you know, what you've learned, what you want to do, and move forward with a new tribe, forging new relationships and a new team. Take some time to think about what you're going to do with this opportunity. The slate seldom gets cleaner. Very little is written in stone. Just about everything is made up anyway. There's plenty of time to get great at an instrument or a sport, or an art. You'll pick up some craft or skill, hopefully, that you can create value with. You'll want to build a new team. We've been through that part. You can remember something and learn something from everyone. And I wonder what people will be learning from you as you represent us out there. A soothing and occasionally chilling thought is that the world might only want what you can do for it. If you reduce relationships down far enough, your value as a friend, as a colleague, a boss, a leader, a partner, really is about what you can do for others. I don't mean to be cynical here. I think there's a beauty to this. By being and doing things for others, you find your way in the world. I think there's something very universal about this. Now, as your dutiful teacher, I have a place in this institution because I can help you arrive at this point, and here we are. Consider the value that you'll create for others in the world. Be grateful to those around you and great to those around you. The world will reward you. Humility isn't quite culturally universal, and for some reason it evokes happiness and feels like pure class. I've learned a lot about class from the conduct of people in Zimbabwe, so thank you. This moment is really interesting because you're losing one of those really clear markers in time. Your grade, your homeroom teacher, your class that you move with, these are institutional timepieces. They connect you to your cohort, to your personal growth, to the years that pass. But that kind of ends around this time. As you move to first year, second year, these begin to blur. People get jobs at different times, and some of these signposts just aren't as clear as they are now. There's an on-again and off-again change. So choosing your path feels important due to that. You may know that I don't put a ton of belief in free will. This isn't the time or place to get into the philosophy of mind, but I'll take this moment to point out that for better or for worse, our conscious moments are dominated by the patterns of thought through the decades of our own and our environment's influence. Teachers' colleges love to tell new entrants, if you had to hand a fork to a kindergarten, they could tell you 15 things that fork could be other than an eating utensil. Apparently, if we ask you the same thing, you'll struggle to have the open-mindedness to think out of the box about the creative uses of such a thing. There's some implication here that we as teachers should try to avoid the cementing of your minds. And I think there's a fallacy there. I think that these forces that reduce our neuroplasticity, the ability of our minds to think in different ways, they're a mix of our own human development, and I think they're a part of the input of those around us. But I think to know this is helpful. I get sad when I think about the concept of being trapped within our own heads, but I think that we all are. The virtue of being a lifelong learner is the real deal. You'll be able to see perhaps those who don't embrace this over the years. I'm going to use a quote now. Marcus Aurelian said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." I think the neuroscience backs him up. So I have a few pieces of advice. I presume that's part of this role. Again, it's okay to be hypocritical, but listen to your parents' advice and wisdom. They really mean the best for you. If you end up raising kids, you will connect with your own parents through this process. Know your habits, the good and the bad. Be active. Pick a sport. Pick activities that you can do and that you'll want to do. Take care of that, and that will take care of you. Consider a reflective practice. And follow your gut, especially with people. Hundreds of millions of years of evolution created that tool for you. Follow your own golden path. Not everyone will understand it, but that's not the point. Take care of yourself and treat yourself well. You need vegetables, you need fiber. Consider the IB Learner Profile sometimes. Any advice that I could think of could be neatly organized under those headings. Do favors for the 42-year-old you and the 65-year-old you. I was sitting there about 24 years ago. They do feel like weeks. Make time for those who are important and save time from people who aren't. Respectfully ghost an event when you know that you should. And last but not least, when you really think that you've done something truly special, send me an email to announce your accomplishment. I am always rooting for you. Enjoy tonight. Thank you.
Good choice. Well done, guys. Excellent choice on a speaker. Well done, Mr. Gresco. Thank you very much for your words. Next, ladies and gentlemen, it is a tradition at HIS graduations to recognize those graduates who have been here the longest. These students have been at Harare International School since early childhood or kindergarten. They're the pioneers of this senior class. I would like to ask them to stand. Joining us in grade 1, Tino. In kindergarten, Michelle. In EC2, Tsepo. And in EC1, Alex. Thank you. Mr. Gresco really messed up this microphone for me. What were you thinking? Thank you, Miss Winnie. It's not in my wheelhouse. Thanks. All right, I would now like to welcome the senior band back to the stage, and they will be performing Careless Whispers by George Michael and Andrew Ridgway. Thank you so much. That was awesome. All right, it's that time. I would like to ask Mr. Hawkins to return to the stage, and I would also like to invite down Ms. Anne Payne for the awarding of the diplomas.
Right, we're getting to the part you've been waiting for. Our candidates for graduation must meet a rigorous set of requirements in order to earn our high school diploma. I verify that each student has met these requirements. I certify that all candidates who are about to receive this official high school diploma have fully met the HIS graduation requirements. Ms. Payne is going to call each student up to receive their diploma in alphabetical order by surname and tell you a little about each student as they come up.
Yes. Right. Fortunately, the microphone's at a good height for short people right now. Hannah Orem Amia will be attending York University in Toronto, Canada, studying law and society. After completing her degree, Hannah hopes to return to Southern Africa, putting her learning back into her community and seeking to improve people's lives. Hannah will always remember HIS's welcoming community, her friends, and the very loud peacocks. Jolie Attaway will be attending Virginia Commonwealth University, studying political science. Jolie plans to attend law school upon completion, but has yet to decide what type of law to focus on. She wants to remain international, as she will always have a passion for travel. Miriam Attaway will be attending Concordia University in Montreal, Canada, where she will study psychology. Miriam has a passion for travel and helping others. Miriam will remember HIS as a friendly and welcoming community where she made amazing friendships. Elliot Ave Lalamont will be attending Beloit College in Wisconsin, USA. He remains undecided on his future career, but is passionate about education. He might like to be a teacher, living wherever he lives. He wants to be happy, surrounded by other happy people, and be the Sunday League's third goalkeeper choice. His HIS experience has been unforgettable, and he'll always cherish his friends and teachers. Luke Bryden will be attending the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill to study computer science. Luke would like to become a software engineer, eventually owning his own company. Luke will forever remember HIS as a small and loving community that has supported him in all his endeavors. He is forever grateful. Tino Chimombe will be attending York University in Toronto, Canada, and will be studying finance. After completing his degree, Tino would like to return to Zimbabwe and maybe own a farm with lots of cattle. Tino will remember HIS's diverse community that celebrates everyone's differences. Rhett Davis will be moving to Texas and begin working toward his goal of joining the U.S. Army. He would like to work in special forces and become an Army Ranger before eventually retiring from the military, practicing martial arts such as jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and Muay Thai, and hopes to make new experiences in the MMA community and travel the world. Rhett will remember HIS as a community of people supporting each other and accomplishing their future goals, a place where everyone is helping you thrive. Elisa Diop-Weyer will be attending Harvard University, studying either computer science, bioengineering, or something else entirely. Upon graduating, she would like to work toward breaking down barriers in the engineering world, travel a lot, own multiple cats, and make sure she's not taking life too seriously. Elisa will always remember HIS as the place she's met the funniest people in the world. Jonathan Goitom will be attending the University of Toronto to study life science, hoping to study medicine post-graduation. He hopes to return home to Ethiopia and work in the healthcare system, making it more accessible to those in the country. Jonathan will remember how close he felt to all his fellow classmates and teachers at HIS. He will greatly miss the great friendships and the peaceful community. Ruby Hishme will be attending the American University of Paris as an undeclared major. In her future profession, she hopes to be doing something creative with music, working alongside friends and spreading happiness everywhere she goes. She will never forget how kind everyone was to her at HIS. Seppo Hyongwani, aka King Festo, will attend Brunel University, London, studying business management. In his future, he hopes to be rich, with a loving family, living the good life, and have a great impact on the community. Seppo will always remember the trust, autonomy, and freedom HIS gave the senior class, allowing them the space to grow naturally in their environment. Yeah, woo! Anders Jacob hopes to intern at a veterinary clinic over the summer before attending Guelph University in Canada to study zoology. In his future, he hopes to be an internationally renowned vet working throughout the world at a variety of game parks. HIS gave Anders a strong feeling of home and belonging, and he'll never forget all the friends he has made. Sophia Johnson will be attending Simon Fraser University in Canada to study political science. Sophie hopes to help people with their personal advocacy, along with working with animals and other humanitarian projects, as well as international law. Sophie will remember HIS for the friendships, welcoming environment, and the sense of home it created. Sia Kapoor will be attending university in India, studying bee pharma. She hopes to someday own a pharmacy business in Canada. Sia will remember HIS for her fantastic friends and teachers and all the positive relationships she has had over her time here. Nyasha Katena will be attending Carleton University in Canada to study architecture. Nyasha hopes to return to Zimbabwe, developing her name and brand by building and designing sustainable housing within the country. Nyasha will never forget the ICEA events on the HIS campus and being the loudest student section during the competitions. Nishna Kanduja plans to attend Semmelweis University in Budapest to study general medicine. She hopes to someday become a pediatrician, practicing somewhere internationally. Nishna will remember HIS for the kind people that have made her feel welcome from her very first day at HIS. Mehak Mahajan will attend the University of Toronto to study life sciences and eventually move into the medical field. Mehak hopes to become a successful surgeon practicing somewhere in the world. HIS stands out to Mehak as a diverse community where people spread peace and support. Rejoice Rufaro Mapaya will be taking a gap semester post-graduation before going to South Africa for university. She plans to major in law, but has not yet decided between corporate law and family law. Rejoice plans to be a prominent lawyer somewhere in the world before coming back to Zimbabwe to work with women's rights and advocacy. In the future, she hopes to be rich, traveling around the world with her family. HIS was warm and welcoming to Rejoice. She especially enjoyed participating in the many activities that the school offered and loved serving as Secretary General of Model United Nations. She will remember HIS as a kaleidoscope of people. Wellington Mapise will be attending Cornell University to study mechanical engineering. He hopes to return to Africa to further invent and improve the energy sector in its sustainability and green energy projects. Wellington remembers HIS as his home away from home, having developed lasting relationships with friends and teachers. He says he never felt out of place and thanks everyone involved in supporting his success. Farai Mariga, aka Young King, will be attending university in either Canada or South Africa to study engineering, business, or physiotherapy. He hopes to become a business owner, possibly relating his practice to sporting activities or agriculture and sustainable development. Farai will remember HIS as a place that allows students to develop into leaders, working with their peers and providing ample opportunities to become involved in the school community. Abigail Mears will be attending the University of Texas to study biology. She hopes to get a master's in zoology, working somewhere internationally while pursuing her love of animals and traveling. She someday aims to retire on a ranch with her many animals. Abigail will remember HIS as a positive and supportive community, always cherishing the memories she has from ICEA and with her friends. Rufaro Mupondi will attend the University of Lusaka, Zambia, to study medicine and surgery. She hopes to build a free children's hospital in Zimbabwe to increase accessibility to healthcare within the country. Rufaro will remember HIS for its diversity in both students and teachers, providing a gaze at the whole world on our beautiful campus. Michelle Muzarewa will be attending York University in Toronto to study psychology. She plans to establish a mental health institution somewhere in the world, wanting to help as many people as possible. Michelle will remember HIS as a welcoming community where she always felt comfortable, secure, and safe. Brian Ndadzungera will be attending Huron University College in Ontario, Canada, to study management and organizational studies. Brian hopes to be identified in Forbes 30 Under 30, expanding his empire in either real estate or the automotive engineering industry. Brian will remember HIS as the place he developed his best memories with the best people and the best community. Aimo Okkonen will be returning to Finland to complete his mandatory military service. Post-service, he will look to go to university somewhere in Europe or Canada to study kinesiology. He hopes to become a physiotherapist, working directly with professional athletes. Aimo will remember HIS as a stark difference to his other schooling experiences, a place where he found lifelong friends and developed deep and meaningful relationships with his teachers. Gabriella Prinsloo will attend Arizona State University to pursue her lifelong dream of becoming a childhood and primary education teacher and psychologist, and striving to give each child the opportunity to one day be able to stand up and say, "I did it," just as she has done. The journey at HIS started in 9th grade with a warm, welcoming feeling from each staff member. Though the journey has been challenging, at times, with the help of the HIS staff and her family, she is so proud to have made it through. As hard as it is to say goodbye, she leaves feeling grateful, blessed, and privileged to have been such a part of such a wild and crazy experience. Natasha Nzariapenga will be attending York University in Toronto, Canada to study commerce. She plans to become a business mogul, eventually becoming influential enough to be asked to give speeches at the African Union on international trade policy. She will remember HIS as a close family where everyone was so close and supported within the positive school environment and culture. Chennai Sabeta Boadi will be attending a university in Canada to study commerce. She sees herself living in a self-designed, sustainable home, independent and able to focus on her craft. Chennai will never forget the smell of the grass being cut on the beautiful HIS campus. Sean Smith will be attending either Brunel University London or Richmond American International University of London to study digital design and marketing. He hopes to own a business with his family and have a life that allows him to further develop his passions in whatever field it might be. Sean will remember HIS as a place that allowed him to feel comfortable in his own skin, a welcoming community that accepted everyone for who they are. He said, "It's awesome." Tarne Tekye plans to attend the University of Victoria. In Canada to study humanities or education. She hopes to accomplish as much as she can, as slowly as she can, enjoying it all. She will always remember the support and encouragement she felt from those around her at HIS, and is thankful for how it'll help her grow into who she wants to be. Alex Thistle will be attending the University of Toronto. To study biology. Alex hopes to then turn towards his medical studies, becoming well established in the field of biology. He hopes to eventually retire after a long and successful career in a cottage in Canada. Alex remembers HIS as his family and his home, a place that helped shape who he is today. He will always be thankful for the bonds he created with people from all over the world. Benya Danye Wegari will be attending the University of Waterloo to study honors economics. In his future, he wants to pursue a career in economics and make a positive impact on the world. He is committed to using his education to tackle some of society's most pressing issues and will contribute to the betterment of the world, and especially his home country, Ethiopia. Benya will remember HIS as a place where he made lifelong friends. He is also grateful for all the love and care the HIS community has given him.
Thank you, Ms. Payne and Ms. Reela. Just by the way, we did get folders for your diplomas. They are almost here. And we'll let you know as soon as they are. So look after them until you get the folders, okay? So, just in a moment. Okay, it changed a little bit since the rehearsal. The steps in the middle, but I think you've got it. You're DP students. Okay, you can now come up to the stage. This is the official moment of transition. Graduates, you are from Canada, Ethiopia, Finland, Guinea, India, Malawi, South Africa, Switzerland, Uganda, the United States, and Zimbabwe. Through your diversity and your shared experiences, you have been connected by your time together at HIS. It is with these words that I break the bond that has united you as HIS students and confer on you a new freedom to pursue your dreams and realize your destinies. Please move your tassels from right to left. Families and friends, I present to you the Harare International School Class of 2023. Okay, are you ready? On 3. Not quite ready. You ready? Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just before we let you parade out, I would like to end by thanking a few of the people who made this event possible. Thanks to Mr. Chenu for the setup and the running of the PAC. Thanks to Mr. Tanner, Mr. V, and the IT team for the tech setup and live streaming. Thank you, Ms. Winnie, Mr. Admore, for supporting the musicians and the marimba group. Thanks to Ms. Tomlinson and the orchestra for all their music this evening. Thank you to Mr. Gresco, the student speakers, and the student performers. Thank you to Mr. Ricardo and the operations team for their part in the setup and logistics. Thank you to the Student Council and Mr. Inyati for running the roll call this morning, and the NHS students for helping here tonight. I'm sure I'm missing some people. I'm missing one very important person. Miss Diana, as always, is really the central component of this event, ensuring every tiny detail has been attended to, from the flowers to the programs, to the tassels being flown in from the US, and the folders. If it was not for the tireless effort of Miss Diana, this event would truly not have been possible. Can we please give everybody who helped to make tonight possible a round of applause? I'd now like the marimba group to take their places. They will be playing Thai Revia as the graduates leave the PAC. Please stand to applaud for the HIS class of 2023 as they leave the theatre.